Uh, the we need the NSA to protect against terrorism because as the capabilities that these radical groups possess continue to increase and become more dangerous, we need a response not only to react towards them but to prevent them. It's one thing to invade that country and try and stop those attacks from developing there, but we also need some mechanism to prevent those attacks from occurring. And we have to recognize that both foreign and domestic terrorists are at play here, which is why we need a domestic surveillance system, because it's not just people from Iraq or Afghanistan flying planes into buildings. It's now people in our own backyards and homes that are planning crazy, destructions of buildings and weird attempts. And as technology advances, we need a way to monitor these communications. Now a majority of communication is through emails and websites, so in order to be like an effective task force, they need to be able to monitor these communications. And the incapability of the NSA, as shown by the other team, doesn't show why we should get rid of the NSA. It shows why we should empower the NSA. The NSA is constricted by rules and regulations that allow it only to step so far into your privacy. While they may be able to monitor who you're emailing and who you're talking on the phone with, there's a very limited amount of range they can use those messages for. They can't actively search the 109 million messages that get sent their way. So they use this system called X-Keyscore. And what it does is it captures large volumes of untargeted data, messages that aren't associated with individuals identified for surveillance, and based on some basic filtering, they minimize the data that goes to the NSA. So what's happening is a lot of these messages aren't even seen by a person. And those that are flagged by a person, they usually don't attract much investigation. And those that are labeled as threats, the only communications that are actually investigated are only investigated. These communications can't be used in a court of law. So even if you were talking about doing some kind of illegal activity and the NSA got that, if it wasn't terror related, that communication wouldn't be able to be used as evidence. So your right to privacy is still being protected as long as you aren't involved with any terrorist organizations. And Obama, with the re-signing of the Patriot Act, has made efforts to cut down on the amount of domestic monitoring that's not related to terrorist activities. He says, effective immediately, we will only pursue phone calls that are 2 steps removed from a number associated with a terrorist organization instead of 3. So that means if you call somebody, they have to know a terrorist for you to get identified as a probable suspect. If you're just talking with some random person, you're more than likely not even going to be picked up. And this is now being a step down. So you now have to have a greater kind of degree of association with these people. Really, the NSA is not this big brother all-seeing eye. It's more like this group that's just trying to monitor and identify these trends of these unpredictable and dangerous people.